Being a Christian doesn't mean you should just be less of a person. No. It does not mean you should just be, no. It means being a Christian being in a high place. Because your father in heaven is in a high place. I'm going to be telling you how you can become a person of high value using Joseph's strategies in the Bible. This is important in enhancing your personal and professional lives. But before I go into details, let me tell you some of the reasons why you might be finding it difficult or you might be struggling to recognize or elevate your professional and personal value. Number one, lack of self-awareness. This is when you don't recognize your strength and your potential, and that is what actually happened to Joseph. I wouldn't actually say that Joseph didn't recognize his potentials, but Joseph had gifts, dream interpretation, and the skill of being a leader. And the problem with this particular thing is that each time he had dreams, he would always go to his brothers and tell them, oh, I had this particular dreams, leading to resentment from his brothers. And that is the same thing that is happening in this world. We as individuals, we are given dreams, gifts to do great things, but because we cannot just stop talking, always telling everybody what we are doing, what we are expecting, what is in stock for us, ignoring even signs of bad energy from people around us. These people are likely to downgrade your worth. These people are likely to denigrate you, making it feel as if your worth or your potentials or your strength are not just it. Because you go ahead to seek validation from them, you start having low self-esteem, you start letting go of your strength, your gifts, your potentials just because of what other people have said. Because you take their opinion to your hands more than what you think about yourself. Everybody on this planet has the greatness to do something. Like the word of the Lord has said, I in you, you in me. Greater is he that is in me and than he that is in the world. We know that God that we are serving is God of Almighty. We know that the God that we are serving is God of creativity. And if this God is living within us, tell me how much more you will do. Joseph didn't just rely on his dream. He created value wherever he was. In Potiphar's house, he was assigned the manager. In prison, he was known for interpreting dreams. And in the house of Pharaoh, was the next in command to Pharaoh. And each time he was in any situation, he made sure that he was creating value. The problem with today's world is that people want success, but they don't want to create value. They may start to offer low quality or common skills that do not stand out. They fail to recognize what people actually need, and they expect reward without actually putting the effort. See, the word of the Lord has said, "Seest thou a man diligent in his work? He shall stand before kings and not before men." That is a thing. So as a Christian, even the Bible is telling us that we can become a person of high value. Many of you probably feel like you don't have to do extra to stand out, just because you feel like every other person is doing what you're doing. What you don't know is that creativity often emerges from something that's already been created. For example, Alexandra Graham Bell was the first person that created a telephone. And now we have iPhone, now we have Android. Your lack of spirituality is causing you to lack creativity, and it's causing you to seek success in an unhealthy way. You may probably be struggling with inner emptiness, even if you have achieved material success. Make impulsive decisions out of desperation instead of wisdom, neglecting God's opinion and his direction. Joseph's faith in God made him to endure betrayal, slavery, and prison. Joseph's life was full of sudden change. First, he was the favored son. Next, he was a slave. Next, he was a prisoner. Later, he was a respected servant, a ruler. Each time he was faced with a new situation, he adapted, he adjusted. For example, Joseph refused to sleep with Potiphar's wife because of the fear he had in God. Even though it could have brought him short-term gain, he decided to go against it. The lack of integrity can damage your relationship with people. Your lack of integrity can destroy your trust and your reputation. It can lead to short-term gains but long-term loss. And it can even make you to feel as if you are not at ease with yourself. Everything frustrates you even though you've made it in life. These things that I've made mention of are probably the reason why you're not a person of value. I'll advise you to start a self-reflection. This is where you start looking inwardly and start introspecting on what you are very good at. This is where you start noticing the things, your strengths and your potential, and things that you can do effortlessly without having to struggle at the way others are struggling in it. And then you start applying this thing, this your strength, this your value into a real life situation. Say for example, your potential is speaking. Start speaking. You know that you're very good at wherever you go. If you open your mouth and then you talk, people will be in awe. people classify you as a person of high value. Why? Because you are always bringing value to them. You're always bringing solution. They're always saying, oh, if I need any solution to a particular thing, I know what you go and make. Now that is that person. You are the person. Learn how to create value. Now this is what you're going to do. I want you to first of all recognize what people need. So for example, you are living in a rural area and you see that people are actually struggling with water, and you having the knowledge of how you can provide water for the community, you start creating a plan that will be beneficial to the people in the community and to you as well. Such example could be digging a well or like providing borehole water. People that are in need only go in search of solution that aligns with their needs. But Joseph saw that people in Egypt needed food. What did he do? He provided grains for them in exchange of livestock, in exchange of their money, in exchange of their farm, their land, and their services. The second thing you need to do under value creation is personal brand. Let people know you for what you do. Becoming excellent in what you do makes it hard for people to resist you. When you develop yourself or when you go back to training to sharpen your skills, to sharpen what you know or your knowledge, it does not make you less of a person with value, but rather it shows that you are a person of value who is chasing value. One other thing that this particular story of Joseph taught me is how to negotiate and exchange something. It is when Joseph, knowing fully well that the people that were coming to him didn't have anything much again, he collected their lands in exchange for grains, but he also said to them that you will have to work on this land that we've collected from you, and then 20% of what you harvest from this land will be given to us, and the 80% will be given to them. Can you see how it's making sense? This thing is something I've struggled with. I'll just take whatever thing wants to give me, like, okay, let me just collect it. But ever since I went back to training, I learned from somebody who is more knowledgeable than me. So even if I want to offer any service to people out there, I know better than to collect anything less of what I'm going to give to you. The thing is that you might be talented, but you lack business acumen. Stay grounded in your faith. A spiritual foundation provides inner strength and purpose beyond external achievement. I want you to practice mental discipline. This is when you pray, you journal, and you go for therapy or even try therapeutic activities that can help you to maintain your mental health. Your success should not come at the cost of your peace and your integrity. The word of the Lord are there for you to read, to guide you. They are there to give you a mental relief. See your setback as a lesson. Every mistake, every errors, everything that you have done, see them as a lesson to get better at what you do. A person of high value does not just give up. A person who made 7 up is the person of high value. Develop a growth mindset. Instead of saying, this is hard, I want you to start saying, oh, this is better, this is easy, this is this, I can be able to do it. I want you to enjoy it because this is one thing you want, right? And you want to get better at it, and you want people to know you as a person of high value because you are providing solutions. Integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. The only person that watches, or the Holy Spirit that watches, is God, the Spirit. This way, you're not just being honest with what you do, you're also being honest to God. Be honest and be reliable. Let people know that, oh, because I've gotten to know this person's personality, attitudes, characters, behavior, I can be able to entrust this person with this thing. A high value person has to be honest. There will always be temptation. Before you make that decision to conform to that temptation, you need to think long term. Do you think falling into this temptation will benefit me in the long time, or it will only be for short term? Because if you look at the story of Joseph, Joseph could have slept with Pharaoh's wife to gain a higher position in the household, but he did not. And that led him to go to the prison because he was falsely accused. Every temptation that comes your way, my dear, I want you to think short term or long term. So like Joseph, everyone is aiming to be a person of value, and if you are that person that is trying to aim for value, you must learn how to navigate challenges with wisdom and with strategic action. If you watch this video to the very end, I want you to comment down below. I found this video very helpful and I will appreciate that. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notification bell for more content like this, and see you in my next video.